Alright, so the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie just came out, and I'm happy to say that it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I know this doesn't say a whole lot because most people on the internet thought the movie was inevitably going to be astronomically worse than the Mario movie. I mean, you couldn't really mess up those Goombas if you tried, but they did it anyway. This really happened. Most of that controversy came from the character design alone, which we all unanimously agreed that Sonic just had the absolute worst design. But looking at the bright side, we were blessed with some pretty awesome memes, however. I mean, look at this one. It's just awesome. I didn't realize how much I was looking forward to this movie until the moment I was driving to the theater. I began to recall most of my childhood memories revolving around video games, and if you ever played a video game in your life, you have to know Sonic the Hedgehog. It's like Sonic and Super Mario. You have to know this too. Now, I remember playing the original Sonic trilogy on the Sega Genesis since the time that my dad was dating my stepmom before marrying her, and to this day, they're still married. I'm saying it like it's a bad thing, but trust me, I mean that to be good. I also was playing Sonic Adventure 1 on the Sega Dreamcast over a friend's house, but one distinct memory that I can perfectly recall was this one during a summer that I was 7. I remember having my cousin come down from San Diego for the summer, and most of the things that we do is ride skateboards, go to the grocery stores, browse through Hollywood Video, get some candy, and play some video games. I had a Nintendo GameCube at the time, and one of the many wonderful gems that I'd play on there is Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Now, we thought it was the coolest thing ever. It was like the music, action, the story, and most importantly, raising these cute little dumb pets named chows. We spent hours and hours raising these stupid creatures to be either good or evil, just depending on which character you decide to raise them with. You had to do this long process to where you can eventually get them to their ultimate form, which is the Chaos Chow. Now keep in mind, for a 7-year-old, we thought this was the coolest thing to achieve. Now this is like what a 7-year-old today would feel like if they won the Victory Royale in Fortnite. Now this was before video games became an online competition, so you couldn't trade them or compete with people from around the world. But what you could do, if your friends were rich enough, link up their Game Boy Advances with another Sonic game, and that child that you raised in the GameCube version could transfer over to the Game Boy Advance version. My cousin, my older brother, and I would spend countless and countless hours trying to raise these stupid Chaos Chows and replaying Sonic Adventure 2 levels to earn rings for accessories, because looking back, it's really not a good game whatsoever. I actually have a GameCube right now. I'm still playing Sonic Adventure 2, Resident Evil 4, and Super Smash Bros. Melee, and still having a great time with it. Now, this was back when games were just games and actually complete. You got what you paid for, even though I didn't pay a single dime for a game that I played back then. Now, thinking back, that GameCube was some pretty tough hardware. My cousin helped burn that thing out, but would eventually start working again after a cooldown. Nowadays, stuff just breaks if you barely sit on it. Now, all those childhood memories were hitting me arriving to that theater and made me realize that Sonic is actually an extremely important part of my childhood. It helped make those summer days when I was 7 more fun. This helped with my Sonic experience since I knew what to expect with the Sonic character, and the filmmakers knocked it out of the park. I would anticipate people who don't know the Sonic character to come to the conclusion that the title character can be rather annoying.
Baldy nose hair! That's the best thing I've heard all day!
Because he absolutely is. But there's this charm that won over this audience, and he now has a better movie than Mario. Sonic is one of those classic internet memes because of rather bizarre fan bases that created Sonic fanfictions. For example, the more famous one, Cold Steel the Hedgehog.
Nothing personnel, kid.
Or the Sonic Academy. To say he's annoying is an understatement. He is the main focus of the movie since the title's named after him. They could have went down the route where they mainly focus on stupid human characters, which at times they do, but it doesn't overshadow Sonic's cliche story that sometimes helps expand the lore. One of the human characters, Dr. Robotnik, or Professor Eggman as I know him in Sonic Adventure 2, was actually portrayed very well by Jim Carrey. You can tell when an actor's having a blast with their character, and Jim Carrey digs deep within his 90s Jim Carrey signature style and infuses that with Dr. Robotnik. There was a dance sequence that reminded me specifically how he used to be, and it was a great return to form. And James Marsden was, he was fine. I didn't really have a problem with him. He was just kind of forgettable. But I came to see Sonic the Hedgehog live-action adaptation, and I got just that. Action sequences were rather enjoyable, and some CGI in certain scenes, such as the Robotnik car chase scene, looked kind of good. It makes me wish how they could have went down the route, like this whole thing could have been an animation, but We got what we got, and here we are. By no means is the story something unique and original, and in fact, if you break it all down, it's really a road trip movie, but with Sonic the Hedgehog. This whole movie ignores the law of physics, steals a couple jokes from other movies, one in particular something from Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
I meant Trash Panda.
What really surprised me was how competently shot it was. I mean, many moments where the cinematographer actually gave a shit on how this film was presented, and sometimes rather professionally. But to wrap up my quick thoughts on it, as a movie lover, it's really not that bad, but there were moments that did get obnoxious, mainly with product placement, and you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. But the kids will enjoy it, and maybe some adults. I'm an adult, and I enjoy the hell out of it. Again, I wanted a faithful Sonic adaptation that introduces audiences to Sonic, which at times that could fail, but for the Sonic fans who always wanted a movie, guarantee will walk out happy like I did. I was surprised to see the adults more excited than their kids to finally see this on the big screen, and it made me realize one very important thing that still applies to our culture.
You're too slow.
Because it's the parents that takes their kids to see these movies while telling them, hey, I used to play these games when I was your age. And it made me realize all of us 90 kids are getting older and having kids of our own. What a beautiful way of connecting with your child, such as showing them all the wonderful things that made your once youthful life have moments of happiness, and that the child will also have them as life goes on. Something as so simple as a video game character can bring all those old memories back and create new ones with someone that you love and care about. So, I mean, could you rip this movie apart based off the rules of filmmaking or what didn't work for you? I mean, of course you can. There's nothing stopping you in doing what you feel is appropriate to criticize a movie, even if that means that your criticism could help towards better video game movies. But for others, it's something deeper than that. Sometimes we have to realize that maybe nostalgia isn't that bad of an aspect inside of a movie. But then again, I'm speaking as a person who grew up with Sonic. What I mentioned before, it's what makes parents excited to take their kids to that. I've seen all that, and there's a beauty to it. It's not really the movie, but it's the experience, and that is truly the genius of Sonic the Hedgehog. Until we get another one of these kids running around the internet. Oh boy, I can't wait for that.